Guys, I'm back with another 10 metal bands you haven't heard but should. I hope you enjoyed the couple album rankings I did for Archgoat and Bloodbath. Got some cool support. Archgoat really calling Shed my ranking of those. They're one of my favourite bands, so that was mental. As per usual, I'm going to be just offering 10 cool underground bands I think you guys will enjoy. There is a playlist for these videos. Sorry, if you want to discover tons of bands, you know, just binge watch the videos, check them all out, give them some support. And also, while I'm here, I'm going to shamelessly plug something because I can. Sickly Gangland is finally going to have a 12-inch vinyl release for this Hollow Land. I've done CDs for every release, tapes for every release. I did one 7-inch vinyl for back when Hymns of the Dead came out. Just after that, I did 2 of the songs from there. But other than that 7-inch, I've never had my stuff on vinyl at all. This is going to be much more widely available because we are doing a deal with Legions of Darkness, who also has the magazine which I write for, but I'm nothing to do with the label. So they're hooking that up and helping me with that release. We've ordered the LPs and they are going to be out on February 14th. This Hollow Land, you guys probably have heard me talk about before. It's the EP that followed the 3rd album. Probably my favourite release I've actually ever done. Yeah, the tapes and CDs, they both sold out in a matter of days with our Clobber Records, so I'm really happy to be doing this. If you want to order one, they're for sale on the AHPM Records Bandcamp, and then you can have one pre-ordered. They are only 100. I don't believe they'll be repressed to my knowledge, so if you want one, don't miss out. It's a couple months away, but all orders are really helping us because vinyl's really expensive to produce, so it's really helping, especially the label who funded the release, and my good friend Johnny Wolf, who was the team member of the label who funded the release, really helping us regain some of those costs back, and that way we can make sure we get everything sorted. They're ordered, they're going to look fucking awesome. So, plug over, sorry about that, I kind of went on for a couple minutes. I'm really excited about these LPs. Anyway, while I'm on the subject of UK black metal on vinyl, the new album from Necronautical, Apotheosis, is the first off the bat. This came out on Candlelight, which is, it says Spine Farm, but this is handled by Candlelight. Necronautical are really cool. They're symphonic black metal in essence, but the symphonic parts are rather subtle, which allows for the black metal parts to kind of really be dominating and aggressive and really intense. I'm really glad I received this from their press company. It's a really killer album. I'm good friends with some of the guys in the band. They're one of the bands you often see on big tours here in the UK with the black metal bands internationally. Necronautical often get on some cool festivals, so if you see that they're playing with a band you like, get down early and watch them. Also, I probably had them in a video before, but Ethereal, kind of related band. But yeah, Necronautical, this is just, it's killer. It's by far the best thing. I have their Black Sea Misanthropy, which I believe was the first album, and the shirt that I got in a trade with Russell, the frontman. I traded him some bits for these, and now the new album, definitely a massive step up once again, so check them out if you like more kind of epic and grandiose, well-produced black metal. Next up is probably by far the biggest release, as it's a Relapse one, but Monolord. I think these guys are a really good doom metal band. They're from Sweden, and a band I haven't seen so many people talk about. I know I generally do prefer doom like Crypt Sermon or like Death Doom stuff like Eternal Rot or Druid Lord or Hooded Menace, but as far as the kind of crunchy, stonery, electric, wizardy kind of doom goes, Monolord are absolutely killer. Their guitar tones are huge. They remind me a bit of the Eremit release I talked about from Transcending Obscurity, but maybe a bit more accessible. If you like huge riffs, really crunchy tones, check out Monolord because this album is ferocious. It's definitely the best thing they've done to my ear, rather. And I think it's, important to remember to talk about doom stuff as well as Black Death and Speed. I really enjoyed this one. Next up, sorry, let me pull up my notes because I've completely forgotten the order I'm doing these in, and it makes sense with the thing. Right, okay, next up we have Wraith with Absolute Power on Redefining Darkness Records. I think a lot of you guys dig these bands like Hellripper and stuff who are bringing back the kind of classic black thrash attack or black speed attack. Wraith are definitely one of the better bands doing so. It's a short but really fulfilling album, pulling in about I think just under half an hour. It's ferocious, it's aggressive, it's catchy, it's fun, it's upbeat, and it's got some killer stuff, you know, no bullshit speed and thrash. That is definitely here. So if you like those kinds of bands like Hellripper and Deathhammer doing that classic sound, check out Wraith, because I think that this is going to be on a lot of people's album of the year list. Next up, we have a couple that go kind of together from my buddy Reaper. You know him probably from Heavy Metal Relics, great YouTube channel. I did an unboxing of some stuff he sent me. We're in contact quite a lot. He's a really good guy, and I got a couple of releases from him. So first up is Destructor with Sonic Bullet. This is originally from I think 2003, something like that. And I think it's interesting to note that not only are these guys some of the real classics of the speed genre or thrash genre, depending where you'd lump them. I'm gonna go with speed metal, but not only that, the bassist, some of you may know, is a young Athenar who does Midnight. Well, not that young, but still, like, he's changed a lot to look at here in this little picture, if you can see it. It's really killer release. It's got some cool bonus live tracks as well, and I think it's definitely an album speed metal fans should have. It's one that you don't see talked about as other classics in the genre, but that doesn't mean it's not as good. It is ridiculously catchy. Blackest Night is Heavy Artillery, for example, and the title track Sonic Bullet will all get stuck in your head. So check out Destructor with Reaper Metal Productions, this reissue with this killer redesign of the artwork. Does have the original art in there as well, but I love this one. Now also from Reaper we have the new Womit Angel. These guys are Finnish black metal, sort of somewhere between raw black, thrash black, kind of just really aggressive, nasty, impaled Nazarene kind of stuff, which it's got that punky, gritty feel. It's dirty, you probably wouldn't want to touch it because you might catch something. And these Finns, like most Finnish bands, just absolutely slay. I think Womit Angel is a band no one is talking about enough, because I haven't seen anyone else talk about them, and I really think you guys should check out Womit Angel, because this is some of the fiercest black metal I've heard this year, I think. Now for the complete opposite end of the spectrum on black metal, Portent by False on Gilead or Gilead Media. I was really late to the party checking this out. It came out back in summertime, around June or July, I believe. And I only checked it out the other week. I gave it a review. I ordered the LP. This is the Aqua Blue second press, for those who care about that kind of stuff. It's a really interesting album. It's sort of reminiscent of Emperor in parts. That's the most common analogy I've seen used. But I think it's sort of more in the vein of how Vargrav and Guardsgaster interpret and worship Emperor. But then with that, you've got some very Mistheming and Samara kind of experimental, kind of slightly jazzy drums with these kind of weird dissonant guitar riffs, and there's a lot going on. It's 4 tracks, it's about 40 minutes, so they average, 10 or so minutes a track. They're really haunting and captivating tracks, and there's plenty going on here that's both classic and also plenty of new stuff that, keeps it refreshed and alive. And I really think that this is one of the better black metal releases in recent years. Next up, some death metal. Now this one I have seen a lot of you guys talk about. Chthonic or Chthonic Deity with Reassembled in Pain. This is the grey vinyl 7-inch, featuring members, I've forgotten everyone's name now. Skolex, Ascended Dead, Blood Incantation, of course, Spectral Voice as well. It's a 3-piece kind of super group. And what's different about this is bands like Ascended Dead, Spectral Voice are quite cavernous, doomy death metal, which there is some of in here. Don't get me wrong, you can tell who's playing on this, but at the same time, it has quite a nice kind of punky, speedy edge that gives it a more energetic approach and sounds quite different to a lot of this kind of cavern death stuff. It's got a real nice kind of juxtaposition going on there. And I definitely think that this demo, single, EP, whatever you want to call it, is gonna stand the test of time. A lot of people are talking about this, but I don't think it's going to end up just being another hype band that everyone forgets in a year, because Chthonic Deity do really kick ass, and they do it in a way that doesn't sound like everything else. Next up, some more death metal, because, you know, I've got to give a good balance. I've talked about Void Terror on these videos before, so I'm going to keep it shorter on this one, but this is a split of Swamp Beast and Void Terror on Meisako and Ojo Records. This is, of course, the LP version. Comes with a awesome poster of the art, which is just stunning. If I can get rid of that fucking glare. Now, Meisako and Ojo, me and Jesus don't go back that far, but we talk a lot. He's got some great releases. We've hung out a few times. Always am buying stuff from his shop and his releases. So check out Meisako and Ojo, as I probably have said in every video for about a year and a half. But this split is just nasty, filthy, swampy death metal. It's got some kind of cosmic-y weirdness going on. It's unnerving, it's unsettling. And Swamp Beast and Void Terror are a really interesting mix of bands, because you're definitely getting this kind of cavernous death approach. But while Void Terror, although previously going more on the Swedish side, offer kind of more, now a more kind of Finnish kind of death metal approach, Swamp Beast have a lot of like D beats and really nasty hooks and filthy kind of American sound going on, which makes for a really interesting split, and they work perfectly together. They complement each other. It's varied. 2 tracks from each band. No bullshit, no frills. Great LP. Now getting into the last couple things. I know my buddy Wyatt X Him is probably gonna be talking more about this one, but the new Diabolic Night, their first full-length album on Mortal Right Records. This is Beyond the Realm. Again, if you like good black and thrash speed stuff, this takes it to the next level with hugely energetic, almost new wave British heavy metal galloping kind of tempos, but with filthy, unhinging black metal elements, especially in the vocals. This is totally it just kills. I really think that this is one of the more interesting releases of the sound in recent years. I still think Witching Hour is the most interesting one, but Diabolic Night, this is just a killer album. It's their debut after a demo and an EP, I think, something like that. I don't think they could have done any better on a first album. It is just ridiculously good. It's fun. You can listen to it over and over again, and it's just heavy metal good times. Now, while we're on an energetic pattern, I'm going to finish this video with Necromaniac from here in the UK. They're a kind of black thrash death band, you know, in the vein of like DGL, Niflheim, all those bands we love for their kind of savage energy and capturing that raw vessel of black and heavy metal alike. Necromaniac, this is their EP, which name is Subterranean Death Inferno, I believe. That's a really hard font to read, and I just listen to stuff, I forget what it's called. But this is the 7-inch, of course. There's a couple colour variants, but it's definitely worth grabbing. And if you're in London or a surrounding area, they are supporting Black Witchery in a week or two. And I will be there along with a Blasphemy, Archgo and Spectral Voice. It's going to be a busy week in London. But make sure to get down early and check these guys out, because they're going to warm up for Black Witchery, a treat. They're savage, nasty, evil black metal maniacs. And you need to hear this, as it has not been talked about enough in the UK black metal scene. And that upsets me. Thank you for watching these videos. Thank you if you listen to my kind of minute-and-a-half plug on my vinyl coming out. And, yeah, check out all the bands, check out the labels. I just realised that I forgot to mention that the Necromaniac one was Iron Pegasus Records in Germany. If you want to check out the vinyl release I'm doing, it's on the AHPN Records Bandcamp. If you support it, I'm very grateful for that, but the purpose of this video is checking out these guys, which is far more important. So, thank you for watching, and until next time, stay metal.